welcome to MandoBug Crafts episode 4! Yay! I am MandoBug, also known as Amanda. You can find me on the web pretty much everywhere as MandoBug. So welcome to the show, new viewers, and thanks for returning viewers. So, like the last few times, okay, maybe it's only the last 2 episodes, but I'd like to start with something I've learned. And this week, to you advanced knitters, you're probably like, oh, no big deal, but I'd like to share it anyways. I learned how to do I-cord. Okay, so I-cord isn't that fancy, and for those of you that don't know, it's a knitting technique where you use 2 DPNs to knit a tiny tube. The ones I was doing was only 4 stitches, and it's a nice little technique. I'm not going to explain it because you wouldn't understand it just from my explanation of it, but just something new that I learned that I can put in my tool belt of craftiness. I'm excited about it. I'll show you my projects later that have the I-cord in them. So, short, sweet, and simple, because I got longer segments today than usual, because, whoo, what a day. It's the evening today, and I normally record earlier, but I spent like 6 hours in a car today for a good purpose. I'll share that later. So, moving right into works in progress, or work in progresses. I think I usually say that wrong and then put the title on there correctly. I think I say work in progresses, but it should be works in progress. So, don't mind my bad grammar. I'm gonna point that out. So, whips. That's more simple, I guess. Simpler. Okay, we're not doing grammar today. This is a crafting show. Currently I am working on this cute little guy. It is going to be a crocheted pumpkin pincushion, which is a free pattern on Ravelry by Armina of Armina Crafts, or no, Armina by Crafts by AP. Great little pattern. I've made it before. I'll share that later. And of course, this is going towards the Cute Critters War, which I'll talk about later as well. But it's a nice little pattern. It's your basic increase, do a couple rows, decrease, and then sewing for shaping. Highly recommend it. It's a nice little palm size. So that's going well. I'm using Vanna's Choice Rust color, and I think a G-hook, which is, for my gauge, is my standard go-to hook for anything worsted weight that I'm going to be stuffing. I'd like to share that I frogged my shawl. I did. I dropped a stitch and got really frustrated and just frogged it. I do plan on attempting this a second time. I have a feeling this is not normal for beginner lace knitters to redo a project, and I'm also going to be looking into potentially learning and using lace lifelines because I need them. So that's really all for whips right now for stuff that I've actually been working on. Of course, I have the few whips I've shown you in the past, but I haven't touched them, so there's really no point in sharing because they don't have any progress right now. So, moving right along, finished objects. So, I have 3, and they're small, so it's not like it took me too much time to make them, but they're super cute! So, my work in progress of that crocheted pumpkin pincushion, here is one I've completed. And I think the pattern, the free pattern, has leaves for the top of the pumpkin, but I chose to do an I-cord stem because that is part of the other 2 finished objects that I made as well. Well, this one wasn't as much I-cord because I did 8 stitches, so I just did those on regular DPNs until I did some decreases at the top and went down to like 4 stitches, and then that was like an I-cord. But, so I did that one, and then these two are the same pattern in two different oranges. Ah, pumpkins! Anybody else ready for fall? These are Jack B. Little. Yes, Jack B. Little by Elizabeth Murphy. Free knitting patterns for these cute little pumpkins with the I-cord stems. See, I did okay. Oh, it won't autofocus. Probably because it still sees my face. Okay, I give up. Maybe if I cover my face. Oh, that worked. I didn't do bad. Okay, you can see the stuffing. These are great too. I did a little bit of shaping with sewing. I just did a down and up through the center and pulled to give it like that flat look. Otherwise you'll have a very circular pumpkin, which if that's what you're going for, totally fine. But if you want a little more squished pumpkin, a little bit of sewing shaping's great. On the Pincushion one, you go actually around, and I used a contrasting color to give it, I don't know, some sort of decorative look. And I think the actual pattern had you do like 8, and I only did 6, just because, I don't know, that's what I was feeling, and so that's what I did. And so those were super fun. I'll talk more about them later as well. But those are my finished objects. Now on to the long stuff. Okay, so enabling is also part of a current event. So I'm going to split up upcoming events into current events and upcoming events. Why is that really splitting if you're still having upcoming events? That's because last week I talked about current events in my upcoming events, and I realized, okay, that doesn't make sense. Why don't I just have 2 separate segments? So from now on, I will have current events and upcoming events. So this enabling is part of a current event, so I'm going to mesh the two together. So today, like literally this morning, I got up at 5 a.m. Woo! And went over and picked up Lindsay of the Knitwhim podcast, and we drove 3.5 hours to Pine Mountain, Georgia, to the Georgia Alpaca Fiberfest. I had a blast. Oh, I had so much fun today. It wasn't a very large festival. They had 2 rooms full of vendors, and they had a lot of classes that filled up before we even found out about the festival, so we were unable to take any. But the instructors were there, and some of them had booths, and all of the women that we met today were absolutely awesome and amazing and so knowledgeable. It just was really inspiring. Like, I had such a good time. I cannot recommend this festival enough. We saw this, I don't remember her name, but she was an instructor there. She was spinning fiber from her bunny that she had, and she clicker trains it to do tricks, and the fiber was so soft, and it just like blew my mind. Like, can I be your best friend? Cause that's amazing. And I mean, we met so many wonderful people with such good advice, and it just was such an amazing atmosphere. And you know, I'm not really sure what I was expecting, because we went on the last day, Sunday, and like they were shutting the vending down, the marketplace down early too. I mean, we got there way before they closed, but you know, Sunday of events, the last day, some people leave early, some people are tired of being there, and that was not the case at all. Everyone was happy, in a good mood. There weren't very many customers. We were 2 of the few, but I mean, it was awesome. And I will be back next year. So, okay, I haven't even gotten to any enabling. I guess I'm, like I said, blending the two. So, the Alpaca Fiberfest was awesome. Now let me share a few of my purchases, which I went with a budget in mind. Let me just say that, because there's future events, which I'll talk about in the upcoming events part, that I'm really budgeting my money for. So I had to keep it simple. So my focus going into this festival was for fiber. So it's what I primarily bought. So I guess I can start in order of what I bought. The very first thing that I bought was from Fiber Charmer. Yes. She was awesome. She showed me and Lindsay how to spin from silk hankies, which I'd never even seen these before. Here, I'll show you I got a pack. There's 4 sets of colors. It's like a pink, a pinky orange, and then this really cool blend. And she had a stack of hankies that she pulled out and showed us how they look like really thin silk washcloths piled on top of each other, and you peel the topmost layer apart and start drafting it. And before she even knew we were interested in getting it or anything, she just showed us and let us do that, and it was absolutely amazing and definitely sold me as a customer, so that was awesome. I'm really excited to spin this stuff up. I've never spun silk. It's so soft. So super excited about that from Fiber Charmer. And then I dropped the card on that. I stopped by Yarnhouse Studio's booth, and they were carrying this fiber bat from the Mad Batter, and I just could not resist. I was going for stuff that is new to me, so I'm really curious about bats and how to spin from them, and you know, there's really artful bats. So this is a crazy colorful bat with, I mean, you can see there's the glitter in it. I'll read exactly what's on it, which is on the back of the card, which is awesome. It's called Robin of Locksley, and it's got Border Leicester, Falkland, Firestar Sparkle, Merino top, mohair locks, silk, and farm wool locks. And it's 2.7 ounces. So I was like, it's soft, it's a bat, it's sparkly, it's crazy fun, and I'm looking forward to this is going to definitely be something different. So I could not resist. I couldn't. So I'm really excited about that. I also stopped by, and this lady had the softest alpaca. I'm not sure if it was the softest alpaca at the event, but it was one of the most softest alpaca I've ever touched. I didn't get any of her alpaca because of my budget, but wish I could have. But I got something else from her, which I was surprised about. It's called the Alpaca Bean, and she told us like 92 alpaca, something ridiculous crazy. But she also roasts her own beans, and they were delicious, and I had to get some, and I love it. I got Tres Amigos Full City roast. I have some right now. Been drinking it because I'm really tired from driving 6 hours, but it was totally worth it. It's so good. I put a little bit of creamer in it, but it's good black too, and I don't normally drink my coffee black, so it's delicious. Who goes to a fire festival and gets coffee? Me. Oh well. And there's more. Can't go to an alpaca fiber festival and not get alpaca. So because of my budget, I was after small amounts. So I ended up grabbing 2 half-ounce balls of alpaca from Wake Robin Alpacas LLC. I didn't get to meet the owner. She wasn't around when I picked these up, but they seem pretty nice. I'm excited, not sure what I'm going to do with them, but it's really to get a feel for different fibers, what I like, experiment, learn. I'm just all up in this fiber craziness since I'm such a beginner spinner. I'm just trying to get as much as I can. I also got this small sampler of alpaca from, can't read that backwards, from Wandering Fox Farm. And I'm excited to just spin it, see the difference between what I already bought from Wake Robin, and just get an idea of the difference. Super soft. So I think that is all I bought. Yes, because I had to limit myself. I wish I could have bought almost everything in there. But there was a woman, I don't remember her name either. I'm really bad with names when I first meet people. I'm better with their faces. But she had a drum carder and was making bats and explained roll lags to me because I've seen them, but I didn't really understand them, and they look weird. I don't know, I'm like, no, I don't want to spin that. It looks like it's gonna become a tangled knot, and like just watching her create those bats, I'm like, oh, now I want to make bats and play with fiber and preparation. This is a bat. Oh, and there was a guy from Sayori with a loom that let me jump on the loom for a little bit. And now I want a Cricut loom. What? This is so bad. This is so bad. I'm sure you all understand the gateway drugs of crafting, because I just hit like this whole new market with spinning and fiber, and it's about to break my bank. Seriously. Seriously. So that's all I have for enabling and a current event. Also, for current events, I have the Mystery Knit Along. So I'm gonna take that down from my works in progresses and put it in current events because it's a knit along. It's technically an event. So spoiler alert, if you haven't finished Clue 2, I have started Clue 2. I dropped a stitch. Oh, I'm just so bad. Like, I keep dropping stitches. I'm hoping this is just a phase. But I had to take my knitting over to Lindsay of the Knitwhim podcast and be like, okay, perform surgery, which is exactly what it was like. She not only did this once, but twice between last time I recorded and now. She did it once at my house and then once at her house too. So this is why I need to do the knitting lifeline, or the lace lifeline, or whatever you call it, where you run the strand through a row. So if you drop a stitch, you can just rip back to that row with the strand in it, because I need that. I do. I need that at least for a long time. That's my confidence, okay? So here's my progress. Last time I only had up to those little bubbly flowers, and now I have all this like netting looking design. I'm loving this shawl. I love the yarn, Cascades Baby Alpaca. I love the design. It's really easily written. It's foolproof if you don't drop your stitches. I'm enjoying it so much, and Clue 3 came out, and I haven't even gotten to touch it yet. I'm really hoping, my weekend just started, I work funky days of the week, I'm really hoping I can catch up through Clue 3, if not this weekend, next weekend, because the last Clue doesn't come out until the 30th, I think, so. But I'm really enjoying it. If anyone else out there wants to join along, I highly encourage it. The pattern's free during the knit along, so might as well do it if you've got the time and some spare yarn in your stash. It just calls for a lace weight and size 6 needles, so it's a lot of fun. So the last current event that's going on is the Cute Critter Wars episode 3 on Nerd Wars group on Ravelry. And that's what my pumpkins are for. Team Pumpkin Spice, join us. So far it's me, Lindsay, and a third member, which I didn't see the post yet. Lindsay told me about it, so yay! Third member! Thank you! Anyone else that wants to join? Awesome! We're focusing on pumpkins, Team Pumpkin Spice, of course. We're going to try to make as many as we can, and they fall under the decoy squad. But you're more than welcome to make other items that fall under other squads. All you gotta do is say you're affiliated with our team. No sign-ups, no nothing. So join us. Got until the end of this month, I believe. So that's still going on, which leads right into upcoming events. Nerd Wars is starting in October, so sign-ups are going on right now, and this will be my first tournament that I'm participating in. I tried to hop in the forums and see if anyone else was interested in a Tim Burton team, because that would be absolutely amazing. I got a lot of loves, but nobody was really interested in fully committing to a Burton team. So I was kind of sad about that, but quickly got over it because a group is forming for under the nerdery scope of music. So that I think is going to be awesome. I'm going to sign up for them, and hopefully the team goes through, we get enough people, and I think I'm really going to enjoy that. So if you haven't heard of Nerd Wars, check it out. It's a group on Ravelry that does competitions, and the instructions are really long, so I won't get into it. But if you like knitting, if you like crocheting, if you like weaving or spinning, and you like competitions and challenges and things that are nerdy, maybe it's nerdy like Star Trek nerdy, but maybe it's nerdy like history nerdy. There's just, I mean, it's all kinds of nerds. So even if you're just a little nerd, you can check it out, see if it's for you. I'm going to try it out. Some people have mixed feelings about it. We'll see how this tournament goes. It lasts 3 months. And if you don't want to start when they start, you can always join the Ninja Warriors and not be on a team and just do what you want when you want, like a ninja, and be like that. So, so that's for those of you that don't know. And then finally, I have the last upcoming event is the Atlanta Shop Hop, and that's what's gonna break my bank. Okay, like everything's gonna break my bank, huh? But seriously, that's why I had to budget at the Georgia Alpaca Fiberfest today, because the Shop Hop is going to be amazing. It's in 2 weeks. I'm super excited, so I'll probably mention it again next week. I've already got a list of yarn and like written down for patterns that I intend on knitting soon, definitely for myself. This is a selfish knitting year for me. And I think I might have had some crochet patterns too, but I've generally been focusing on knitting since it's new to me and I'm trying to advance my skills. So basically how the Shop Hop works is you pick up like a stamp card that has each of the shops that are participating on it, and then you spend $10 at that shop to get their stamp. If you get stamped by all of the shops, you're entered to win prizes, and they have a bunch of prizes. And I'm not just talking like a skein of yarn. I'm talking like a sweater pattern with all of the yarn required to make the sweater. I'm talking kits, and like not just they're not cheap. Let's just say that. They're very high value. And the overall prize is $900 worth of certificates for these stores. So, of course, I'm sure everyone that's participating is after that $900 grand prize winning. You know, I've already got a couple sweaters in mind. If I win, then I'm like, okay, gonna go back and get yarn for that. So I'm super excited. But with that, in order to qualify, $10 a shop, I think there's like, I'm probably gonna get this wrong, but I feel like there's at least 10 shops. So it's, I mean, that's a minimum of $100. And, you know, I spend yarn money throughout the year, and I know I spend over that throughout the year. So I'm just gonna tell myself this is a condensed shopping experience and that it's not extravagant spending, because it kind of is. But I'm gonna lie to myself. I'm gonna lie to myself, and don't you tell me otherwise. So that is also coming up. So I've been super chatty this episode. I had a lot to share from my experience today at the Fiber Festival. So sorry if I bored you, and sorry if I was boring also, because I'm super tired today. It's not my day. It's not my day. So until next episode, I will see you later.